Okay. Start this. Okay, go live. Come on. All right. All right, IG. Okay. All right. We are live on all platforms. Oh, let me add you. All right, there you go. Okay. Now we got it. Now we got it.
I was like, I ain't on stage.
Right, right. Let me see. Okay. Here we go. All right. Now I got to the comments is what I'm missing. Okay, that's okay. Okay. Now we're on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram.
Okay.
Okay.
Bet. Bet. You couldn't get the TikTok was something different, huh?
I haven't had a chance to mess with the TikTok just yet.
Are you probably not from this app, but I was gonna say, are you able to make me a collaborator on Instagram? That way when you make me a collaborator, I accept it goes on my timeline automatically. But if not, that's fine.
You
We'll
talking
figure it
about for the live? We can do
out.
that.
No, I didn't know if we could. I know on posts we could,
Hmm.
but that's when on lives, I'm like, I don't know if we can add. You would probably have to do it from Instagram, but I don't know if we could add people as collaborators.
I'm gonna have to look
That would
in.
be nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that because I've never yeah I have to look into it. I'm not even sure about that one.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Look, I got for those who I know it's still warming up and everything, but um, for those who are new to both of us, yeah, let me still getting this camera together. But we did get some questions. I got a few of them.
Okay.
You know, so I was excited about that. I need to fix this camera. I need to get this camera correct. Everything is perfect before I get going, and then when I start, it start acting weird for some
Mhm.
reason. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
See, now my camera then went out.
I was gonna say I can't see you no more though.
See, I don't know what I did. Hold on one second. Come on back on. I know ain't nothing wrong. I know there's nothing wrong with this thing. I'm trying to get it to where I can see you and see me at the same time without having to do anything. Okay, that look like that works. That's yeah. Oh, yeah. All right, give me one second. Just do that. Yeah, that works. Cool, cool. That's better. Turn a little bit. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Okay, we are we got it set up. Yeah, but for those of you that don't know, like I said, we're on Instagram, we're on YouTube, and we're on Facebook. You know, and definitely have to start being more active on YouTube and Facebook because I know those are my least active, um, you know, platforms right now. But yeah, but so you can introduce yourself for people who don't know who we're talking to. If they don't know you and me, we're gonna introduce ourselves.
Okay. Okay. I am Brandy Yates. I am an accountability coach. My brand is Conquering Relationships. So if you type that or Brandy Yates on all platforms, you should be able to pull up my social media. it speaks for itself. I'm an accountability coach, so you can kind of, have an idea of what type of content I make. So the content I make is real life content. Is it get down to the pain points, but I'm doing more of holding people accountable, versus doing like a blame game. This is why we're like this because of somebody else. So
Hmm. Right. And for those of you who don't know, like I said, I'm Jasper Lovett. I go by Brother Love online, and I just give advice with all things that are a part of the foundation of love. Like dating, getting to know people, meeting people. That's generally where my advice uh, goes towards. That right there, and so today we got some stuff. Me and Brandy been collaborating for like a nice little while now. So and our content definitely goes well together, even though she a lot more raw than I am. Okay.
you are too. You are too. You just our approach on it is different. I think I'm probably a little more less professional with it. Like
Really?
you're a little more like calmer and just nice, and this is the information. Me, I'm just like, look, now that man ain't tricked you. He, so you're probably a little bit more professional than me, but yeah.
I can see when you put it in those terms, I can, yeah, I can understand what you're
I got the big mama, the mama part. Look now, I ain't gonna keep telling you if you keep doing. So I kind of bring it from that.
saying. That's for sure, definitely. Like that's a perfect way to put it. Actually, yeah, yeah.
I'm working on changing though, y'all. But yeah.
Hey, some people needed it like that. I have videos I've done where it's a little more, but I don't know. I guess I know when I first started doing Brother Love, it was a lot more raw like that. But as time has gone on, I don't know. It just the energy isn't as intense.
Yep.
But I can in real life, if you talk to me, I definitely will go there and higher.
Yeah.
But on film, it's a lot more calm. And
Yeah.
plus, I'm in the. You say well.
I like the balance though. I mean, it's like you say, our morals and character and messages align. So somebody may be viewing it, and especially when we're live, or even if they follow both of us, separately, there, some may view it and be like, okay, I need it how he gives it at this moment, and then
Mhm.
some might be like, oh, I need to feel it a little more. Let me go to her page and see. So it's actually a good balance.
For sure, for sure. Yeah. So if you're tuning in, like I said, we have some questions. We put up a Facebook post for you to give us some questions in some different areas, and we got some good ones. A couple of them I think we might have touched on in some other lives.
Okay.
Hold on one second. One of my kids is
They want to be on camera too.
they. It's one in particular that can't sit still, but that's okay. We gonna be all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we got some good questions though. To start off, I wasn't sure if we would get any or not, but yeah, I feel like a couple of them are what we touched on, and then one of them I know we haven't touched on. So we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get right into it. Like I said, live from Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, which I need to, yeah, put a lot of my content, I, everything I got, I need to put on YouTube at this point, since we're gonna be moving with it. But all right, I'm gonna get started. Here goes the first one. I'm gonna try to keep this. I'm gonna try to keep a certain time limit because I don't want to go over. But I want to make sure we get everybody's questions answered. Can you see that? Did that come up on you? Okay. Yeah. So this one in particular, what are the first steps to healing after divorce? It was some more in the inbox, but that was the initial question of it all. Um, was what is the first steps to healing after divorce. Now, um, Brandy, you probably have a lot better perspective on this than I do. So if you want to go first, you can, or if not, I can try to tackle it. If you want to, give it
Um,
to
I'll let you go.
me. Okay. Um, okay. So I'll just go from a place. I can't go from a place of divorce because I've never experienced that. But I can go from a place of, um, moving on after you've been in a seriously committed relationship because I have done that. And I think when it comes to I think it's a lot of things that you do. But I think one of the first things that helped me, you know, get to a good healing space after that was um, definitely spending some time with myself. I think that's one of the first things that I've done in the past is, I just need to be with myself. It ain't even that I need necessarily be alone and you be secluded from the world or nothing like that. It's just I need to really do some things and do some digging inside of myself to see, what's going on. To make sure that everything I have going on, whether that be reflecting on the relationship, reflecting on who I am, reflecting on you know uh, do I want to try again with someone? Do I want to or do I want to shut it down for a couple years or just I need to get honest about where I am in that moment. I need to get honest about who, what's my mental space right now, and we can get to the other stuff, after that. But I need to know like right now, okay, what can I tolerate and what can I not tolerate right now? Okay, I think that's the very first thing that I would say is that was pivotal for me at healing after a serious relationship, something like that. So, but yeah, that's what I got, Brandy. What you got to say with that?
Yeah, I like that you went first, simply because a lot of times we feel like people who've never been married don't understand the pain of a divorce.
Hmm.
There are different aspects, that's entangled in that. But if you've been in a long term relationship, you understand the pain of having to let go of somebody that you thought you spend the rest of your life with. So I like that you brought that from that perspective because I tend to think a little different from the normal person, and society don't really like that. And I try to say, like you may not be able to talk to someone, specifically who didn't go through a divorce, but you can talk to someone and get healing points and healing thoughts and help from someone who had to let go of a long term relationship. I do feel like the hurt is, just about equal in that aspect. Um, but I am divorced, and it is levels to it at healing in general. Um, so I may say some stuff that work for people or that may not work for people. Again, because it's levels, and not everybody is ready to let go. So that will be my first thing in the healing process after a divorce. You got to make up your mind if you're ready to let go. So if you're not ready to let go, healing cannot happen at all. Healing would not happen at all if you're still trying to hold on to the person, the thought, the idea of the marriage that you had. Even though you're going through a divorce, you would not go through a healing process. So I think that is the very first step. Is being honest with yourself that it's time to actually let go. And then once you make up your mind to actually let go, then we get into the things that Jasper spoke on, um, with finally choosing yourself and being real with yourself. If you're ready to get back in a relationship, if you want to just be to yourself for a moment, if you need to just focus on you and find out what you like now without having to consider another person, it's a bunch of levels to those type of things. um he clicked out, y'all. I'm not sure if, let me ask him if it's still recording. So I'm not sure if he knows. Let me see. So Jasper, I'm not sure if you can even hear me, but on my side it shows you are not on, but it does show that you're still recording. So, so I wish I had had people on here actually asking questions because then I could be answering them as he's on his end trying to figure out how to get his screen back on. Let's see.
You hear me, Brandy?
I can hear you now.
Uh,
I
sorry.
can't. Yeah, I can't see you, but I can hear you. I'm not sure if you was able. If it says still recording, but I'm not sure if you was able to still hear me as I was talking or not.
Here we go. Goodness. Look, I accidentally pressed the wrong thing on my laptop and it went into airplane mode. So that booted everything out
Yeah, and it was
for
recording, so
some
I was like,
reason.
I don't know if people could hear that.
Oh,
On my
and now
end,
I
it was
can't
still
hear you for
recording.
some reason. It's still good. Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay,
Yep. You can't see me for some reason.
so I could see you. Are you looking? Is it two different screens you going off of?
It should just be one. I must be doing something wrong.
Okay, because I could see you
My
on
apologies. This is not okay. Not, I see what's going on. Yeah, this is not the camera I'm using, but this thing. Okay.
It's all right. Trial and error. I had so much trial and
Well,
error when I first started with mine, man.
yeah. Just
So
yep.
since you said it was recording, I wonder if once you're done with the live, if it'll have the part where I was talking and answering the questions still, because it didn't show that the live clicked out at all. It just showed that your connection was gone.
Well, since it turned off the entire Wi-Fi, so it probably didn't get that if it turned
Oh,
off the Wi-Fi. You know what I'm saying? Okay. You had just started too. You had just started and everything. I clicked the wrong button and
boy, I sure was talking, and because even though I saw you click off, it didn't say like the live had stopped recording, so I just kept talking.
mm, yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. Would you mind going back through that? I mean, that's
Yeah, so I was basically just shoot, I don't know which part you heard, but
no. It's like
um
literally as soon as you started, that's when everything like shut down.
okay,
As
I was
soon as you
basically just saying that how I come from a different aspect than most people come from. So, while people may think that because you're not married, you don't understand a divorce, I was saying that, people who have been with someone long term can understand the pain of a divorce, simply because you realize and you understand the pain of now having to let somebody go that you thought you'd spend your life with or build
mm,
a life with. So, and then I went into speaking on that's the first steps. It's levels to it, right? Because there's always levels to everything. There's no one size fit all, and there's no let's just tell me this and then this gonna fix it. So there's always levels to healing, which means there will be levels to healing after divorce. And so for me, the first step was letting go. So
mm,
just being honest with yourself that now it's time to just let go. Because as long as you're holding on, as long as you're still seeing yourself with this person, as long as you still have the, well, what ifs, or maybe I can do this to fix it. As long as you're still having that, you ain't let go, which means you cannot start to heal after a divorce. So, so that's basically what I said. Is the first step is letting go, and then we get into the other levels of it, which goes into what you were pretty much talking about. Now, after I let go, now I got to figure out what it is that Brandy wants. At this
Mm.
point, I don't have to consider another person no more. Outside of if you got kids, but I don't have to consider him anymore. So what is it that Brandy wants? What do I like? How can I enjoy myself in my solo season right now while I'm healing? So it's basically just refinding yourself all over again outside of, the relationship. Because truth be told, a lot of us do, we lose ourselves once we're in a relationship, so it's refinding you, what it is that's going to help and work for you while you're healing.
Oh man, that's good. That's look. I didn't even you pointed that out. I didn't even think about the fact that you got to make sure you can like you're really done. Like that's a whole nother. Before you can even get to anything else, you got
Exactly.
to figure out that you got to make sure this is really like, this is really it. Like,
Mhm.
so yeah, I think that's very very important that somebody can
Yeah.
definitely use. Whoever sent that in. I'm keeping everything anonymous,
Okay.
unless people tell me that I can. I didn't go back and forth with the people who sent me the
That's
questions.
that's how I do it too. Unless it's posted on public, I make everything anonymous. Just yeah. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's cool. I want to add to that too before we move on.
yeah,
It's the closure. It's like if you're still looking for closure, you also won't get healing because
mm,
again, you can't let go if you still are holding on, and looking for closure or needing closure means you're still holding on.
mm,
So sometimes you got to be able to let go and get an apology without getting an apology. Sometimes you got to let go and get the closure without actually getting the closure from the person. So that's,
mm.
that's all I need
That's
to add to that.
that's interesting. That's interesting. So once divorce happens, there is no closure. That's it.
It depends, again. So if you're looking to heal based off an explanation from that person, you may not get it,
Mm,
because the person may not want to hurt you even more, or the person just may not care enough to give it to you. So you can't heal until you let go. So if you still hold on to that and you're looking for that other person to give you the start of your healing, you just may not get it. So
mm.
first step is just being okay with just letting go.
Just letting it go completely. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Okay, I think that was good. Like I said, I don't have as much. I feel like to add to that, but what you've added has been doubled the value for sure. So I hope that helped the person who was asking that question. But we're gonna step over into the next one. Let me see. Got my little prompts. Got my little prompts that I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Let me see. Okay, we got the next question, and I think we've touched on this in another live, yeah. But we'll touch on it again. Like I said, we got somebody directly who wants to know, you know, how long should you date before you get married? Okay, what's is there a time? Is there a time frame that you should date before you get married? Like, what's the time frame?
Y'all don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me. I mean, if you do it, I don't care. He know I don't care. But I'm just gonna say this. No, I don't think there's a time. However, I think sometimes there can be a too soon of a time.
Mm,
And I say that because people aren't dating correctly. And we've touched this on, numerous other lives. So I don't think there's a time frame when both of you guys are in sync in your spirit, in your emotion, in your mental, right? In your goals, in your character, in your integrity. Then no, I don't think there should be a long, a time frame. However, because we know we live in reality and not fairy tale land. It takes time to get to know somebody based off how you vet.
Mm.
So if you aren't vetting and you're just chilling and kicking it and just having the time of y'all life because the time was had, you know how we like to say that, then I would say that ain't long enough, because you ain't asked real life questions. You ain't vetted this person to see, do they have self control? How do they treat if they got kids? How do they treat their kids and talk to their kids before they get with me? How
Mm.
do they, as I'm a woman, how does this man even treat women? And not just women he's sleeping with. Like how do he treat women in general? What is his thought process about women? Where is he at in his life? Do he have self control? If he is he done
Mm.
with his promiscuous stage? You know, when he talks, like, because I think people are like, well, I don't want to be too serious. You don't have to ask serious questions to get serious answers. Just have organic conversations and listen clearly, and you will hear if they're talking a lot of me versus we, then that'll tell you where they stand. You ain't even in the picture with them just yet. They don't even see you just yet. We talked on it last live. If they don't ask you no questions, baby, don't even be thinking about no marriage because they ain't thinking about you.
Mm.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you got, Jasper. I don't know.
You kind of leaned into the next question actually,
Oh,
with some of that, but for me, I can't. I'll be torn with this one sometimes because I moved very. I feel like me and my wife moved faster than I ever thought I would in my life. Okay, um, but I think for most people, there's a lot of it's really dependent on how your vetting process goes. That would determine a lot. I don't think you can say you should be ready in 6 months if you ain't did 6 months worth of correct, healthy vetting. I mean, that's I think that's the key thing right there. Like if yeah, you can put a number on it, but if you haven't done the things necessary to build the relationship, trust, and connection that you need in order to feel like you need to get married to a person. I mean, I don't feel like the time is really it's not a thing. I mean, some that might take people 6 months. That might take people 4 years. I don't know. Everybody don't get to it at the same pace. So um, I can't say that there's a specific time frame you should look at. Because if you're only looking at time, then you can waste a lot of time and get to the point of marriage and think that you're ready because you've wasted time up until the point that you're supposed to be ready. And so that's the thing with that question. It's like it's like the 90-day thing. Whenever Steve Harvey first did the 90-day thing, right? And everybody was like, "Yeah, just wait 90 days, just wait 90 days." And I'm like, "Yeah, you can wait 90. You can hold out for 90 days. That don't mean that your relationship is in a good space to have sex just because you waited for 90 days. Like it's not that's not what that means. So anybody can wait that long. If I have somebody if I have somebody who I'm having sex with and I'm also dating you, that 90 days ain't nothing. That's the truth. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm just saying, like, you got to think about it like, it's not just the number that you're waiting on. I
yeah.
believe it's meant to you actually do some work, and if it makes sense to do it after 90 days, then do what you got to do. But yeah, that's that's my answer.
So I like how you pointed that out because it goes back to what I said. Like, is this person, and I'm only talking about men because I'm only interested in men, right? So is he also on a journey of self control? Like I just said, and
Mm,
he not promiscuous. So you with the 90-day rule, I could be waiting 90 days, but is he waiting 90 days?
right.
So it's like you got to be asking questions and doing things to see what the value there is. Like do he is what do he see in a woman? Like, what do he see in a wife that he would want as his wife? Like, what do you see that you would want your husband to have? Like, it's way more questions that could be being asked and focused on than time. So I agree. Like you said, you can be wasting time. Hey, a lot of us waste time. We waste years. Situationships. So time ain't the issue. It's how you're moving with that person. That's the issue. I don't think I hate when people do a they try to say, "Oh, I know people that are married within 3 months and they've been together 30 years." Okay, that's the exception to the rule. We ain't talking about exceptions. We talking about the higher percentages. Is it realistic? And if you look at the higher percentage of marriages and you do the survey, it's not realistic for people to get married within 3 months and still be together 30, 40 years later. In fact, the divorce rate is extra high. And in the divorce rate is different times. So people done got married quick. People done got married late. Like, it does not matter if it's sooner or later if you marrying a person that ain't on the same page as you. We marrying only because I need health insurance. I had a woman tell me she only married her husband when
Oh
a
man.
guy from high school. And now what I came to realize is that maybe the person she wanted didn't want her or something. So
Mm,
she gave the guy that's been chasing her since high school a chance, and she married him. But her excuse for marrying him, now y'all hear me clearly too, when we look at people in marriages, you have no idea how and why these people got married. So stop idolizing marriage and their marriage. But she told me the only reason I married him was because I needed health insurance
that's crazy.
and I couldn't get health insurance unless I married him. So it's like, yeah, it's like you don't know why people are getting married. It could have been married because they come from a tradition that you're not supposed to have a baby out of wedlock. So boom, we done
Mm,
messed up, done sleeping around, had a baby. We don't want to be looked at wrong by our families. Let's get married.
mm,
So don't idolize marriage so bad and so much to where you miss the important steps of identifying this person's character, their morals, their integrity, and their goals. Do they see you in their life? Because people that see you in their life, they ain't gonna do nothing to get you out of their life. They gonna make sure they do everything to keep you in their life.
man. First of all, that out of wedlock marriage, I look at that's a yeah, that was tearing some folks up at a point in time. Yeah, for sure,
Hey, a lot of people, like
for
I
sure.
my family alone, it's like that. And when I look at a lot of them they married long. They are. But guess what? They so unhappy because we live in a social media world. This how I know they unhappy because they put everything on social media.
Right.
They putting how many times they person cheating on them, and they putting that at how many times they kids done disrespected them because they're in a household where they don't respect each other. So the kids are just feeding off the energy of what the two people are doing to each other. So it's like it ain't about time. It's about the way you're vetting. It's about the character, the morals, integrity, the healing place of these people that you're trying to marry.
Mm, that's that's very key. And look, I'm gonna go ahead and just switch it into this last question because it
Okay.
ties directly into you touched on it uh, really good just now, but I'm sure you got some more to say with it. But the last question that we got via Instagram: how should I vet the people I am interested in? So we've been talking about vetting, when it comes to, thinking about marriage and stuff like that. So, how should someone vet? You like I said, you touched on it. You touched on some really good stuff. Um, but is there a process? Is there the keys in this process that people should know when it comes to vetting a person?
I actually want to hear you go first because I think when we talked on when we actually did a live and I think vetting came up before on one of our lives, and then I kind of went in on about it or whatever, and you said a little bit, but you didn't. I don't think you really like went in. So I kind of want to let you lead this one
Okay,
when it comes to the vetting process.
cool. Um, for me, whenever I was dating and when it came to vetting, I think one of the key things I had to be conscious of before getting to like the specifics of the questions is, you know, the things that you want to ask people about, you got to make sure that it's a reflection of who they are and not what you need. I feel like when it comes to vetting, people think that um, you're just trying to make sure that you're getting everything that you need from the process, and you're not really trying to get a a picture or perspective of a person's character. Sorry, this camera is not letting me win today, but yeah, I think that when it comes to vetting correctly, like you got to make sure that you're taking yourself and your personal feelings about what you need out of the process. Okay, to me, the whole purpose of vetting is to see who a person is, what they stand for, and you put that up against what you need. What you're looking for and what you believe in.
Mhm.
But it's not just about getting your needs met. You can find a person who meets your needs, but if you don't vet who they are, it will lead to destruction either way it goes. So yeah, you can get your needs met from a person, but the whole purpose of vetting is to know them, is to see what they're about. This is why you ask questions. This is why I don't get modern dating and the stuff that people be so frustrated with, because I'm like, it ain't got nothing to do with another person. Yeah, it's all about you, and you being the prize, and you know what you bring to the table. No, it's really about them. Let it be about the person. Like, people should be free to express themselves and show you who they are. That's what you want. I don't want this to be about just me. I don't want our dating process to be about me and what I need. I know what I need. I know what I'm gonna tolerate. I know what's on my list. I know that, that's it's fine, but it's not about that. It's about you making sure you know who you dealing with, because that's all that matters in the end of it. Is who you're dealing with. What are they about? How do they treat people? How do they treat themselves? What's their ideas about family? What's their ideas about friendship? What's their ideas about religion? What's their ideas about sex? What's their ideas about education? What's their ideas about culture? Like, you got to me, that's important stuff you should want to know. Not, hey, what's your favorite sex position? You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all asking silly, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, let's get to some real stuff. That ain't
What's your favorite restaurant? Like the surface level things that you would know if you just talk anyway. Like it'll come out eventually if you listen to it. Like, yeah, like it I love exactly what you said. Everything of what you said. That's actually a different perspective that I've heard it from. The vetting is not about you, it's about them. Because first of all, I do know people don't vet. First of all, I already got that understanding. However,
Mhm.
if people did vet though, you do find a society of dating where it is all about me. So what can you do for me? Okay, well this how I could benefit. Okay, well this what will make me happy. And the questions that we ask is all about it making us happy. So
Right.
we're not understanding the person. It's kind of like what I said on a live before when I was like, a person never asks you questions to get to know you. He just answers your question. That's not vetting because he don't care nothing about you. He's just answering your question because he's there to get a certain thing. So he wants to appear to be interested. So don't ask questions that make you feel good, that glorify you. And we hide from the questions that we don't want to that may hurt our feelings if they give us a certain answer. No, ask those questions because this is how you learn them. You might be like, man, I want to stay away from that because what if they say this and what if they say that? I'm not gonna like it. Good, ask it because it's all about learning them and their thought processes and their mindsets. They might start talking about some stuff that you ain't even asking. You be like, oh, I ain't know that part. Maybe this ain't a good fit, or oh, that's a good fit. I like that. So it's like just vet them. You ain't vetting yourself through them. that
Yeah.
that be the thing. People be vetting themselves through other people. Like, no, vet ask them questions about that's not surface level. Actually, I don't think we actually begin to know people. I think we ask questions of to see what they can do for us, and that's very surface. Like I said, a restaurant, oh, you like expensive restaurant, or you don't like expensive restaurant, or you cheap, you know. Okay, well maybe he want to take you out more times than one for the amount of money he got, So it's like the restaurant questions, the sex positions, those be like surface level stuff, and then that's why people only get to the surface of being with a person, because we never get down to the deep of, is this person even on the same page as me?
That's that's so true. That's so true. Like a lot of that surface level stuff, I feel like it's a reflection of, just how not ready you are for, the real thing. Because if you can't go there with people, then why do you think you need to be in a serious relationship, let alone marriage? You know what I'm saying? Like, why do you even think you are ready for marriage if you can't go there? You know what I'm
Because we
saying? Like,
all think we ready. What you mean?
that's
I am ready. What you mean? I'm tired of being lonely at night. What you mean?
that's
I'm
the
tired of
truth.
pumping my own gas. What you mean? Tired of paying these bills by myself. How come I'm not ready?
That's the that's the truth. Hey, everybody think they ready. Everybody think that they're definitely ready because they're tired of the single life, which to me that indicates that you're definitely not ready. Because single life ain't no, it's not a burden to me.
It shouldn't be,
It's
but
not
it
a
is
burden for you. Yeah, I say
for a
it
lot of
shouldn't
people.
shouldn't be a burden for you, where you think that the answer to that is just getting in a relationship or getting married. Like I don't, it's it's not an answer to that, and you shouldn't vet people just seeing if you can just get into a relationship with them. They're good enough. You asking questions to see if they're good enough to get into a relationship with them, and not if they're good enough, or you're not asking the question if they're a match for you. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you just want to get with these people, and it's like it should be more than that. If you're gonna be in a seriously committed relationship, you know, you should be asking stuff that reflects the long term, stuff that's actually meaningful to you. Like that, like you said, the surface level stuff is, you know, I got to get past that. I knew I was ready to get married when I was past that. Immediately, I'm like, all right, we through that. Let's get to some real stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not even saying to make your date super heavy, because I believe that you should have fun on a date, but you can talk about serious stuff on a date as well. You can always make it fun. It doesn't have
Mm-hmm.
to be you know, it doesn't have to be like, bring the energy down and nothing like that. I feel like you should, but you can definitely have a conversation. I think that's a good way to know that you're vibing with a person, is that we can just go there and then we can crack some jokes, and and go back and forth with that. But um, I don't think it should be a thing where you're running away from those questions because you're afraid of what the answers might be, or you might be afraid that, oh, this is too deep, and go there. I mean, it's not really, if y'all gonna be a match and a connection, it's not gonna be a problem. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, because realistically, after y'all get together, that's work to do. So it don't stop, So it's like, if you're afraid of that now, then you ain't built for the work that's gonna come after being in a relationship. I don't know why people don't think that is work. I've seen plenty of people say before, like, relationships shouldn't be work. Who told you that?
There,
Where have you ever seen on this day and earth that relationships were never ever work? You're always mending two different backgrounds, two different thought processes, two different attitudes, two different boundaries, two different tolerance levels. Like, you're always mending these things. So what makes you think it's not going to be work after y'all say we exclusive? It's going to be work.
it's gonna be work.
So, like, the getting into it is the easy part. How y'all going to hold it together? So I like how you said that. Like, singlehood shouldn't be a burden, but it's a burden for a lot of people. And when I see it, it's crazy, because I be like, why do y'all hate y'all singlehood so bad? I'm
Hmm.
not even an advocate for people being single, but I understand the importance of being single. So when I see people hate they singlehood so bad, I'm like, yep, you're gonna be the same one going in and out of relationships because you don't understand the importance of being single. You can have fun and be single. And when I say fun, I ain't talking about promiscuous. You
Mm.
know, you can
Mm.
still have male encounters. You can still
Mm.
date. You can still have that and experience male encounters outside of a relationship. But that be the problem. People, it's like their mind tells them that when you're married or when you are in a relationship, this is what solves your problems. And they don't. They actually add on to your problems because now you have to fully consider another person, which means you got to watch how you talk. You got to watch how you move. You do have to answer to somebody. I even hate that thought process. And you don't own me. I could do what I want, baby. When you single, you can do what you want. When you in a relationship, no, you gotta check in with that person.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta consider them. So it's like it's way more work being in a relationship than it is being single. So it's like just the thought process. I would like to even see even somebody maybe get on your panel and just kind of understand, like, for the ones who really really want a relationship, like, what do you think you're going to get out of that that's going to fulfill you in a way that you're not getting fulfillment as being single. Let's not say sex, because y'all be single and having sex, so that ain't it.
Right.
Or y'all be single with sugar daddies and sugar mamas, so that ain't it. Somebody paying you, they could pay your bills or whatever. So, like, what is it really?
Mm.
So,
That's say they got sugar dash, sugar mamas going on.
hey, they do.
Hey, look, I don't know how people do that stuff because I ain't fit to be with no old person for the sake of some money, cash flow coming in. Okay, ain't no,
Attention.
there's
Somebody told me that was like, oh, just talk to them. Some of them don't even want to have sex. Baby, I don't like to talk all day. So what? Why am I finna talk to somebody that I don't want to talk to just for some money? No, that's
mm,
taken away from my worth. I feel like I gotta lower myself for some
hey,
money. That's prostitution. I might as well just be a prostitute.
man, yeah. You say that if you doing all that just for some money, I mean, there's other ways to make some money, some legit ways that you ain't got to be, underneath nobody, that you don't want to be underneath,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, that's where we at, yeah, 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 that wasn't bad at all. Now that I look at it, but
I like that they sent those questions in too. I was wondering. I used to do a solo Q&A, and I would get questions. Sometimes people wouldn't send questions in, so what I'll do is I'll just go back through like old posts of actual questions that people have asked publicly, and I just do it live on that because I was wondering because nobody commented on when I was sharing and nobody sent me any questions, so I was wondering if you had got any.
yeah, yeah, actually, I got a few Saturday and Friday, but you had a post. First of all, your post. I'm mad that you ain't putting them out. Okay,
Well,
I'm mad at you.
I just be tired. I put them
Look,
in
I
a
know.
story. So mind you, these are all old posts, right? So what I'm
Yeah.
doing is, in order to save them to my phone, I have to share them. And I don't want to share them on the timeline yet because I want to edit them. Um,
Oh,
I want to edit, like, add my ads because some of them don't have like the wording on it, and then some of them don't have like my tag on it. So because they're older ones that I was just putting out, I wasn't really doing any type of editing to them. So in order to save
mhm.
them to my phone and reproduce them with my tag on there and all of that, then I have to share them. So then I just put them all in my story. And
Mm.
people,
I be seeing them like, man, that's good. Like, go to save. I like, oh,
I said people gonna be like, I saw her post this already. Yeah, if you saw my story.
look,
Yeah,
hey, I don't care if it's old or not. If it's good, it's good.
yeah,
If it's some stuff, I just be wanting to. I be wanting to go back and and absorb it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's I like doing that. I like saving stuff, and then I have some downtime. Between work and stuff. Like let me watch this and get some thoughts together. And it,
yep.
it always helps to hear some good stuff. Hold on one second. I got it. Let me mute this mic. I got to yell at my son.
Okay.
Did you hear that?
Mm-mm.
Good. My son is wilding right now.
I he say you been on too long.
He just look. They don't see that. I say, hey, just chill for a minute. They know what to do. They know this
Yeah,
ain't even nothing new.
right.
And but my oldest son is just like, hey, I don't see him. As long as I'm quiet, he can't tell I'm doing everything. So yeah, kids is wilding out. But yeah, I'm glad that you was able to do this. Whoever.
You went you went out, so I didn't hear you. I heard I was glad we was able, and then it went out.
Oh, okay, my bad. I was just saying, I was glad we was able to do this. I didn't see any comments from anything. It's still, good content, and for those watching, we're going to be um, doing this on, Q&A. So send my froze. Did I freeze up?
Yeah, it's off and on. It clicks in and out.
Yeah, that's okay. Look, I'm trying not to be frustrated with this.
Yeah, but look, it's toward the end, so like we got the good part of the content.
Yeah,
We can clip
yeah,
up. So
yeah. But yeah, if you can't send inbox me, or can they inbox you, or you want me to just inbox me?
they can inbox me.
Okay, yeah, inbox me or uh, send some stuff in. Yep,
Yep.
yep. But
Yep. So Wednesdays and Sundays. Sometimes if you the goal is Wednesdays and Sundays, but we both got busy lives. So if you don't see us on a Wednesday, expect a Sunday. If you don't see a Sunday, expect a Wednesday. It's just kind of keep those 2 days in mind for me and him. Like I say, we are on the same page, so I do think this is something that will continue unless there's like a big life change where schedules or something just don't match anymore. Then yep,
yeah,
expect those both those days or one of those days for us. That means y'all just gotta follow us on every platform then, because you just never know which platform we'll be on. You know,
exactly,
if
exactly.
we might just want to do TikTok, and TikTok we can't do it through here, so we might just be like, hey, TikTok this time, hey, just follow us.
I'm gonna still, I'm gonna still mess with the TikTok. Like I said, I just haven't had a chance to mess with it. Trying to make sure I did Instagram right first, but
Yeah, and then mine. So until I get my storage together, shoot, we might
oh,
be
yeah,
live on mine instead of his.
yeah,
You
yeah. You
just
say
never know.
you got enough space filled up over
Hey,
there with your stuff.
boy, and I've been tired. I ain't been getting that out, but I don't know. Maybe next weekend I'll work on it because I do need to clear that storage out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
See, that's the thing. That's probably the least problem for me because I got all type of external hard drives and I got all type of stuff that I haven't even been using. So now I get a chance to use it.
Yeah, that's
You
good.
even use a lot of that stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, that's good. So we'll get there. We'll get there. I think too with the app that we actually probably what we both use now to like put the words on there. Because everything I got is super old. But once that's kind of out, then the stuff that we do Sundays and Wednesdays, I think it'll be easier getting it chopped up and getting it out. Because I'm not focusing on old videos anymore. So
look,
it'll help.
you can fool me. That what you putting out is relevant stuff. So I can tell, unless you put that date on there, but it's still
Yeah.
relevant stuff. You know.
Yep. Yep. I got my son just came in. We got somewhere to go at 4. I told him we'll be a little late, but I just got a text of where I was going. They won't seat them until we there. So I
Oh,
think
okay. You got
I hate when places do that now though, because it's like I mean you don't know what people be having going. Like just get the table of 10 together and call it a day. Like it's okay.
right,
So he
right.
just showed me a text. They told me they ain't even finna seat them until we there. Goodness. Okay. So
It's all good. It's all good. We'll wrap this up. Like I said, thank you everybody for watching. Thank you, Brandy, for coming on, giving some really good stuff.
Hmm.
And like I said, we'll keep on doing this. You guys send in your questions and everything. Follow us. Just give us feedback on what you want to hear and what questions.
Yep. Yep.
All
All right.
right,
Well, I will see you Wednesday then.
all right. Yep, I'll see you Wednesday.
All right. Have a good one.
All right, bye. Yeah. Okay. All right.
I
Now
don't never know how to click off.
I can clear. I remembered it from last time. It's somewhere down here.
Yeah, because it be telling me log out, but I don't want to log out because I want to be stayed in when we get on again. So it still got me in.